All right, welcome back. It's a two for oneer. The two for oneer. Definitely on a roll today. Since we're on the road to the next halving, we can pace ourselves. I find. So I thought I'd give an update on news. Where do I source my news for crypto? So I have a few sources. I narrowed it down so far. It could change, of course. Nothing's etched in stone in the crypto world. Things move fast. But here's one that I think will always stay around, and that is the block. So I find it easier to practice my patience with this market by reading various articles in relations to what's going on. And as you can see, these times, yeah, August 16th, and that's today, you have four relevant articles. And most of the time, what I've noticed is that a lot of YouTubers on that I was following initially, I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure you know the run of the mill names of them. Uh, they basically get their information either from here or another source. But the majority of the information that I've seen that is relevant comes from either the block or another source that we're about to touch base into. So a lot of these guys that you'll see, they're good with charts, but and that's well and great. I'm not a chart person. I'm not. That's just not my forte. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I find it fascinating, like Bollinger Bands and things in that nature. The 20, whatever you want to call it, average, and all that stuff is fascinating. It's kind of like I'm kind of late to the game on like really touching base on charts and using them to make decisions. I'm a news person. My specialty is following the news because I found that cryptocurrency, the main one, Bitcoin, moves heavily with the news. It doesn't really have anything to do with a chart. Chart's good, don't get me wrong, but for me, I think that's great. Great information to base some of my stuff off of. So some things I use, and I don't think this like I think I might have like removed it. Um, that's not on this list, and that would be like the Fed calendar. I mean, like you can do that, like the Federal Meeting Calendar, meeting list is one of my things. And then just by following the list, I guess you got the times down here and whatnot. I didn't set it up, but you can see I was on this site before, and you can get a list of the meetings. Let's see, we got some September stuff here. Not much for August per se, but you get the press conference here. You know, we're hoping that they're going to cut the rates, which they have no real choice. They'll do it in September. And as you can see, I kind of look at these dates, and the reason why is because I'm expecting volatility. So it's real simple for me. I don't need a chart for this. Also, I need to know that there's going to be some volatility around this part, just like what's volatility around here. So you can kind of, well, let me rephrase that because this is not financial advice. Believe me when I tell you. But from my experience, I have been looking at these dates and following the information, and I would say 8 out of 10 there has been volatility, and this is say 7 out of 10 times that I've seen this come together, these dates, and watching the charts or spot, this is spot charts. Anyway, the prices there has been volatility. Usually, like a couple days, you get a shrink back because it depends on what's the topic. And we're talking about that CPI, and that's something that you can get also like this information. You can also get it weekly. Jobs reports and CPI numbers. Those are what's controlling Bitcoin right now. To an extent, I would say 50-50 because the S&P is doing very well, but Bitcoin right now and the whole crypto market. Let's take a little ponder. Let's look at that real quick. And as you can see, there's not much. It's red. For the most part, you got a lot of red going on, and it's been like that for a while, for a good minute. Red on down the board. That's just for the hour. That doesn't mean anything. But as you can see, for the month, and and I like stuff like this because you can just like digest this information really quick. You don't need anything else. And it's not to keep picking on people with charts. But I'm just saying for me, it's just real simple because I work, long hours, so to speak, and I do side hustles to keep this bad boy going. And since I do that, it becomes like, I don't really have the time to do certain analysis. I mean, I will and eventually, but for right now, I gotta like, condense everything into something that's relevant. I said this market moves quick. And as you can see, these things are down like 31%, 33%. I mean, like this is like a ravaging. I mean, like at one particular time, when you go from a year's time, for these guys, I mean they're up, but man, if you came into the game like or just we're getting some positions in here around around this time or whatever, before that you got slaughtered. And I've been in these positions for a minute. So now, you get to some of the brunt end of it. So just be quick and just know like you don't have to, I mean this is for me, I learned that I don't have to run and jump into the next thing. Like, you can take your time. I would, I tell myself, I'm trying not to say directed towards people. I'm trying to, because it's a diary for myself, basically. And, somebody who's watching, they can, of course, put their information in and, just view it. This is purely for entertainment and purposes for myself because I want to look back on this like a year, until the next halving comes. I want to watch and see what I was doing at this particular time at the current halving during the next halving. It's a little paradox here, little little mind twist. But yeah, so like when the next halving comes around, I just want to see where I was at, what was I doing, what was the news that I was looking at that particular time, and then this can help me, um, as a roadmap moving forward in the future. So this video might not be that short. It's actually probably going to be a little bit longer because I haven't really been putting them up like that. And I'm starting to get a little momentum here with my mouth. So anyway, so these guys have been rocked. That's period. In the story on that. Will they come back? That's some particular time, but for me, what I've been looking at is what's relevant. Okay, Trump's in the race. He moves his market when it comes to Bitcoin to an extent, but the market's kind of like, how can I say, it's August 16th. They're a little bit tired of that right now. That's all well and dandy. The man they just found out, and then we just all found out here 5 hours ago. And this is how quick I get my news. This is actually up. But CNBC is pretty. They pretty much have the news that you want. I mean, some people hate on them and whatnot, but I found out through the years like I've gotten a lot of good information from these cats, and it's just the way it is. I mean, like I'm pretty hit with some other channels and people, but when it comes down to what's moving these markets, because I'm invested in like and most people are in stocks, and that's how I got into cryptos. Like eventually, it's just stock trading, and like my information comes from the news because that's what I do, and it seems relevant for crypto, especially when BlackRock has their hands into these. When Wall Street has their hands into something, so you better pay attention to the real news out here. Before it was kind of like what's going on with these projects and all this other stuff. You have a lot of YouTubers promoting a lot of these coins, and I guarantee the majority of them is going to go to zero. And then when I say zero, it's like I learned forget these projects. These projects don't really make much sense. There's only going to be a few winners in this thing for this cycle, and there's definitely going to be a few now because Wall Street's got their hands into it. Before it was a different story, before everything got drummed up with the ETFs and everything like that. You could kind of say, all right, this is going to make a move, this is going to make a move, and this is why. But the adoption is just not there just yet for these things. I mean, like now it takes a little bit more than some people talking. Yeah, like a ton of layer twos on the deck. I mean, it's just like a bubble. It's just like this. These bubbles here. That's that's exactly what it is. And it's like, how can you choose? It's only a real few of these things out here that actually make sense. And a lot of them are not going to make sense yet, but are up and coming. And some of them will never make sense. And that's just the way it is. I think it's going to be a meme coin frenzy soon. like it is already, boy oh boy, they are really. But I think it's going to heal up a little bit more. And my prediction is that these memes are going to be like commercialized at some point in time. I don't think it's going to be that much this year. You can see elements of it. Let me see. There are some elements of it out there, and it's big advertising for some of these memes. But I do think that they're going to have commercial adoption because of their popularity. I mean, it just makes sense to me. If people are investing, if something has like a $5 billion market cap, like Pepe did at one particular time, just think about it. Like, you got a significant amount of holders. Retail pops in, they really promote this thing, which it will happen. But, no one knows the date and time. I mean, Morgan Stanley is the recent one. So, like, we're getting there. It's not Vanguard yet. Vanguard didn't do anything yet. And that's another elephant. But so it's starting slowly getting there. But anyway, you got these memes, and then they're just going to get more popular. And to me, if I do follow business, I got a business degree and all that stuff, but it just makes sense. Doesn't mean too much, but it does. I mean, like when you think about it, I can't downplay my education, but think about it. Memes, popularity, they grow easy. Your foot's in the door. You don't got to do anything. They're already well known, certain ones, and that just opens up the door even more for advertisement, and that's pretty much what runs a lot of this stuff. And I can see them getting endorsements. Some of them doing it now. I'm not going to mention any, but there's a couple of them. I'll mention one. Water. That's on Salon, and that was adopted. I forget the driver's name, race car driver, but it's for a donation. It's a good cause, and that's an example. Using it for a good cause. If it's really for a good cause, for a charity or something like that, of course. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and that's just a small snippet of what's to come potentially. So, I get my news like that. I found that I will watch a lot of videos. Now these guys over here, um, outside maybe like my Lord Wojak, and believe it or not, it's actually educational and to watch Wojak, especially these crypto ones. I mean, like because like you can watch one and you see these things going down to the ground right now, and you can be like, "Yo, you know what? It just reminds me of this negative 33%." It's funny when you watch them, but there is a lot of truth to it. I mean, like I've seen a lot of, of course. I mean, they're made to make fun of, some truths, things that we experience in our daily lives, and you can learn from it. You can actually probably get a good laugh, and you can see that this thing doesn't really change. This is, crypto swings wildly. It really does. So I tend to go to like places like CoinDesk. You know, I like long-winded channels when it comes to, well, OGs. You know, like, and I mean like OGs who have like a good reputation. Not some OGs so much. There's some I can name. They're cool and everything, but I'm like they be. But anyway, yeah, they be they be like shilling they fucking coins all the time. They have a lot of hidden agendas, and like I don't think that's their fault. I just think that's just natural. I mean, like you kind of if you add something and you got a channel, you kind of want to promote it. For me, I'm not trying to promote anything. I'm just trying to see through the madness, at times and develop a, you know, I guess a little, how can I say, a trail for my personal educational purposes, and whoever's following, we could share some stuff and learn. But I don't have too much on the showing. I did start in the beginning saying, hey, you know what, this meme, I'm invested in this meme coin and that meme coin. But you know what, I'm going to keep those videos up there. It was only like maybe two or three, but things have shifted. To me, it's like, you know what, nah. If I'm going to really invest, I do have meme coins, by the way. I sure do. And when I say this bubble right here, oh man, it's not that many of them, but it's enough. I got like three. Let's see, three. Yeah. And, it is what it is. I'm not going to say their names. I'm not really into that. So we covered the Fed meme. That's a different, we'll cover that one on a different one. Maybe I'll do that on the next one. I'll cover the memes. But if anyone is watching this, please, please, please don't think you gotta just jump into these things. Like, look, I'm telling you, and this will happen again. I guarantee. Like something like this, oh, this is definitely gonna happen again. They can go right on up and get the news. Maybe Kamala Harris says, "Hey, you know what? Crypto, we're gonna work with it, and here's my plan. We're gonna do it like this, and boom." Then you probably get a shift up, and then like something happened, and then boom, you're back down here. So like this, no, take it easy, take it easy. So back over here. So I rubbed that out. So we did touch the block. Let me touch the block first. Block's got all the news. We need some news on the day. And your favorite YouTuber's not up or podcaster's not up. Just take a few minutes of your time and read. That's it. Or you want to see what's going on? You want a reality check? Put some crypto bubbles up and look at where these things is coming from. A reality check. So, and this is from the top to the bottom. Like you got the best in the games taking a smack in the face, and then you got the second best. And you keep on going down the line, and you get my drift. Take it with a grain of salt. It's serious, but it's not that serious. I'm learning that myself. So we just covered a couple places I get my news. So over here is one of the main spots, even though I say beware, but beware. So for me, I got the side hustle. I got a lot of side hustle. I need to do. I hadn't had to break this one out in a while, but when I do, I got it at the ready. Just in case a few things fly south. But that's on another video. We can touch base on that too. Side hustle. You gotta have a side hustle. This thing is ridiculous. Okay, so let's get on to this. So I follow. I used to have some cats on here, man, and nothing. There's nothing wrong with them, like Altcoin Daily and stuff like that. They're good because they got good information on altcoins. Altcoin news, good. But sometimes they have these like, all right, let's just take all, and it's not the bustle, no. Leave me. I'm just gonna do the regular roll. So I put altcoin in. Let's just see what we got. Buy the effing dip. Okay, that's cool. But it's a lot of these I call it clickbait. Is it because like they'll like have like something like, hey, and I'm going to click on this channel. I don't care. But I'm just doing it for relevance. I like these guys, but I'm just going to just keep it real quick and see what they got. Last chance. And they got the big arrow going down. Big news, arrow kind of looking crazy. Last chance. Okay, we got that. F and D. So when you start getting into these things and start looking at them and like they start going over the information, it doesn't seem so cataclysmic like they always have. I mean, that's just how people get people to click on their channel. But you go to somebody like maybe this guy and this dude, Fred Krueger's known Wall Street. That's pretty uniform. Power laws with Larry Lepper. It's nothing like no big arrows. You don't have the emojis popping out and nothing devastating. You're talking about, hey, something to fuck with your day. You know what I mean? Like I don't need, and I don't know. Like I say, you gotta take these things with a grain of salt. But visually, psychologically, these things are meant to do stuff to you, tweak a nerve or something like that, just to catch your attention. And I don't want my attention to be grasped all the time for nothing because my time is valuable, and I just don't need to hear what I think is going down. So here's one other dude. I got to put this dude on here, but and it's not to downgrade him. He look at this. Like these things, 99% will lose. I was looking at this dude for a minute. He's a charting monster. His charts pretty good because he gets in the business of like, explaining certain things, and he's quick with it. He's daily, but these damn freaking, I don't know, like warning, breaking soon. It's like, yo, I had to unsubscribe from this dude because I'm like, man, I mean, like, this is like, the shit is ridiculous. I've been watching YouTube for a long time, but I'm just like, these clips, when it comes to crypto's always been like a pull jerk type of thing. So I don't want to be jerked too much. And if I keep following like, shit like this, it's just, warnings, oh, you gotta click, and I mean that's just the nature of the business, but save yourself some headache and just leave, if you get into that, just leave it alone. That's why I started following. I said, okay, you know what? I started sifting through these things and I started picking up people who actually made sense to me. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just so much that though I'm not downgrading those guys. I'm telling you, they got some good content, but I just don't like the way they promote their stuff sometimes, and then half the time they don't even touch base fully on what they're talking. I mean, I either read it already on the like. To be honest with you, I found out that I either read it already, or I seen it on CNBC before they even came out with the video, maybe hours ahead of it, way out. So I was like, damn, I'm ahead on the news. So it's just not that fascinating to me. But stuff like this guy right here, this dude, I'll tell you, James knows how to put it down. It does. I mean, like, I have to give it to him. Investment answers, you know, just the guy's for real. The guy's for real. I mean, like when I was talking about the analysis, you can take it with a grain of salt, and he's going to tell you. I mean, you can just look at it, and you don't have to like. I just get the feeling like I'm not. I got enough information, and I don't want more information. I don't have to make a move straight away. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? I can, the information he's giving me, so it's relevant. I mean, like I said, he just falls for me. It just works for me. And I got these guys right here. I think this is the wildest people I have. Nowadays, these are the wildest people I have. And that's just crypto labs. Like I'm like, this one here. And that's because it's DeFi. And DeFi is a different ball game than like, you buying a coin and it's riding up. There's a little bit more to it. So that. And then I got my entertainment. That's another thing. Raoul Pal, long-winded dude. This man, OG in the game. That's the only thing I can say. So I got some stuff going on like that. That's how those are, and Anthony Papalano. I'm screwing his name up. It's late for me. I'm kind of tired right now. The dude right here, this breaks it down. I mean, he's like one of the front runners to me. So I like, digesting what he says because it makes sense. It just makes sense to me, and that's it, man. I got like very few people. Everything else is just has something to do with something else. Nothing much. And I just added Bloomberg. And that's because they had some information and relevance to crypto that I thought was useful. So that's my news. That does seem like a lot in a sense, but if you click on it, it takes me maybe, and I'm gonna be honest with you now, I don't even watch these cats every day. Like, I'll look and see if they got any content. If it looks like it's relevant, let's just, Power Laws with Larry Leopard. Maybe, doubt it. So I'm just gonna skip over it for the day, and I feel as though that everything is all well. Nothing else has changed, and if it has changed, believe me, either if I didn't read about it, these dudes already know, and it's not gonna be no big ass arrows talking about danger. That I mean, I'm a grown man. I don't need to hear see shit like that because that's for somebody else. What I mean, that's not for me. All right, that's the alarm. I know this video is long, but I don't make them that much, man. It's been like so long. I've been procrastinating. So I'm probably going to do one more after this, and I'm going to call it. So maybe for the week. I don't know. Unless something good and juicy comes through, because it's going to be this more of the same thing. And I'm definitely going to spice it up. Until we get to the next halving. Man, it's a long way. It's going to be a long diary. But so far, and things changed so much already. Like I used to be like a little bit wild, but now it's like you got to retract. I got to because I've been in this since the previous halving. I mean, like this is my second halving. The first one I didn't give a damn. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I was just every time I put money in, everything went up. So I was just cashing out, putting back in, cashing out, putting back. That's probably what people do. That's what it seems like they're doing now. It seems like it now. But now, I'm more serious. So that's it. Thanks for watching.